I enjoy such topics, 4 things I've learned from my first webinar, because your first experiences with anything, when you don't even remember, but when you started to walk for the first ever time, your parents would have been so proud of you because you were trying to get up and fall, get up and fall, get up and fall. That would have been the case. And anything you learn for the first time, and these are my personal favorite topics where I just want to share with you, because if you know how bad your first experience is going to be, you are not going to set those high standards for yourself, where you will be expecting, when you have high standards for your first ever webinar, that okay, I'm going to clock 40,000 in my 90 minutes, I'm going to make 10,000 rupees in my first ever webinar, I'm going to make 1 lakh rupees in my first ever webinar. I'm just going to bash those standards for you, because you are not going to make it. Bluntly, honestly, with full transparency, you're not going to make it on the first go itself. You know why? You're good doing it for the first time. There may be a technical glitch, there may be a tactical thing that probably you're not great at communication. Your sales skills, you're probably working it for the first time, you're selling it for the first time, you might not even have products ready, you might be doing it for the very first time, where the people that come inside your room might not be qualified. They might be not be in qualified leads, might be not even quality leads. It just doesn't happen. So I'm just going to share you my experience, because it's going to be a fun video for me at least, and I just wanted to document this experience because it is going to help you. And I know that when we set high standards, because I had a high standard where I knew that I'm going to make my first sale in the first ever webinar, it just doesn't happen. You need to know this. It just doesn't happen. Probably yes, you might. Probably not. You might not. There's no 100% guarantee. That's why 4 things I'm going to share with you is like I learned from my first ever webinar. Things to know. By the way, did I welcome you? Did I not welcome? Anyway, well, thank you so much for joining this particular video. If you are a part of the world of Academy of Finance, thank you so much. Welcome back. If you are not a part of the Academy of Finance Scientists, there will be a link here somewhere where we are a bunch of introvert entrepreneurs who are trying to build a business. Not even trying, we are building a business and creating a business into a massive movement with the time that we are going through. Thank you so much for joining in. We are a crazy community of introvert entrepreneurs. Anyways, things to know before even knowing what are the things I've learned from my first webinar. Now, when I say first webinar, that was a sales webinar. This was way back in 2019 when I did my first ever webinar. First of sales webinar. Things to know. First ever ads launched. First ever ads campaign launched. First ever I was working on my funnels. It was my first webinar. It was my first sales webinar. I had no products ready. I was so confident that I was going to sell my products, which was not even ready. I had no air condition running because I just did not had money to get an air conditioner. That way I was sweating like anything. There was a power cut. The only thing that I had that time was excitement. It's like, I am going to do this webinar and I am going to make a money out of it. That was only the thing that has holded me across 90 minutes in that specific first experience was my excitement. Now, things a bit more you need to know as well. I did not have my courses ready. Okay, I think I said that. I did not have my product boxes ready. I just had that triangle thing from Canva. Not even box. It was just pure image that I kept. My presentation was bad. I was bad. I was doing it for the first time. I had not rehearsed it. I had not practiced it. I had no muscle memory then. I just wanted to make money and I just had excitement. Okay, so those were the things that you need to know. First, the next things that you need to know, I just got one show up, and before even going to the show up part of it, you also need to know where I was when I was running advertisements, email sequences, okay, and funnels. These are 2 different things. I knew ads were bringing people into my funnel, okay, but funnels were not getting people into my email list because the integration was not there. I was like, great, I need to even fix that integration. I was so excited, like I don't even did the integration. I knew I did the integration, but I not did it. I kind of skipped it. Now, then I kind of integrated. I kind of flew away or blown away 33 leads that I got for the first ever time. Like, it's just gone. Anyways, going back to the story. That day, I somehow with that 1 minute of first version of my advertisements, probably if you are a part of my community, you would know that one video ad campaign that I ran. 1 minute of video. I don't know how people saw that and got into the list. There's a potential, right? There's always a potential of people just want to come learn from you, stuff like that. So I just had one show. That one person stayed all the way to 60 minutes. Okay, so that lasted for like 90 minutes of a webinar, sales webinar. That person stayed for 60 minutes. The moment I started my sales pitch, there's like, okay, empty room. Empty room. It was just me with myself. And I was so excited, like, if he comes back, if he's interested, I should keep the flow going. If I just sit and wait for that person, it wouldn't look good, right? So it's like, okay, let me go with the flow. So what were the lessons that I learned? Lesson number 1, which is going to be very helpful for you in your first ever sales webinar. If you are also doing it for the first time, all the experiences, if you just resonate with the whole thing that I said right till now, the first thing that the lesson that I learned, which will be an inspiration for you, would be walk in with 2 things: excitement and enthusiasm. Because when there are no people inside the room, you're going to lose it. You're going to stop what you're doing. You're going to quit very easily. All those thoughts, all those beliefs that you have, I'm not good enough, I couldn't do this, that job was great, that the place that I worked was better than this, am I just blabbering, is it making sense? Those thoughts are going to overrule you. No matter how much conditioning you did to yourself, those thoughts are going to come live and eat you, swallow you like anything. So how can you overpower them is walk in with excitement. Say, okay, I'm not going to make money here. I'm 100% sure that I'm not going to make money here. But what I am going to do today is going to make me money tomorrow. What's that? Experience. When you can experience that first time, first bad time, first ever thing, when you experience it for the first time, that becomes a story. That became a story for me. That became a piece of content for me. Like what that one puzzle and today's puzzle. 2 different puzzles. And if not for that, I couldn't be here today. If not for that experience, I couldn't be here today. If not for that experience, if not for that 190-minute session that I did, I wouldn't be here. 100% guaranteed. I took that step, made that happen, and just the whole thing that I was excited about was like, okay, I just want to learn things. How good I am, how bad I am, I just want to learn, experiment things. 2 things. Excitement and enthusiasm. If you are not passionate about that one thing, probably you're into stress management. If you're great at that and you talk about affiliate marketing, you are going to escape from the industry just like that, because no, it did not work out for you and you're not already connected with what you're doing. You just vanish. Point number 1, excitement and enthusiasm. Point number 2, you need to have the power to anchor the excitement even with 0 show-ups. Power to anchor the excitement. When you are excited to show up, okay, and when there are 0 show-ups, your excitement will go down. Something that can hold you there is, think of it when there is no one showing up, think of it as an experience where you get to practice life. You just get to practice life. It's like, I'm inside the market. If someone wants to come, they can join at any time. I'm just talking to myself that way. And think of it in this way. If someone joins your webinar, probably they join it when you join. Okay, they stay all the way till 20 minutes. They leave, and when you stop and you keep on waiting for them, and for example, they join in after 10 minutes, and if you continue from when they left, they would immediately say you are not authentic on what you're doing. You know why? Because you took a gap of 10 minutes. In some way, they was like, okay, I think you are not confident in what you're doing. If you're not confident in what you're doing, how will I be confident in purchasing something from you? How will I get to learn from you? So keep those 90 minutes dedicated for you. Another hack that I'll give you over here is like, before starting your webinars, when you're creating your online courses, when you are working on the systems and tools and just working on the self and whatever you're doing, creating a business plan, stuff like that, have 2 days blocked out for your sales webinar. Just practice 90 to 120 minutes. So dedicate, claim that time. That time of the day is for the webinar. I'm just going to practice it. I'm just going to learn things out. I'm just vocal. So the more you do it, the better you get. The more you practice, the better you get. So your first experience, probably you're going to make money. You could do that if you have experience, if you are practicing, if you have kept on vocalizing it regularly, you might actually make 40,000 rupees a month. Or say, not even a month, that's salary. 40,000 as particular, a specific first sales webinar. Probably you could do that because now you've got experience. Point number 3, expect nothing, you will have fun. Expect nothing and walk in, you are definitely going to have fun. Point number 4, every step you take is a practice, a step closer to being perfect. Perfection is like a myth. It's you go, every step takes you closer and closer to excellence. Not perfection, excellence. You just keep on going closer. Like, okay, my goal is to make 50 lakhs this year, for example. That's the goal. If you don't take this one step, which is going to be, the longer you wait, the harder it gets. The first steps concept is in this way. You get anxious and scared and anxiety and overwhelmed and frozen and stuck, and you won't be in a position to take that step. What happens is, again, I heard this from Yes Series crew. What was that? Someone called Matt. He said, the longer you wait, the harder it gets. Okay, so again, we have to work on our own pace. We don't have to rush things. We are at our own pace, but that pace has to be maintained, and the momentum has to be built. And once you're on the road, point number 3 and 4, expect nothing, you will have fun. Point number 3. Point number 4, every webinar that you do is taking you closer to your goal over and over, and the more you practice it, the more you vocalize it, the better you get. That being said, thank you so much for joining this one video. It was great. I have fun. I have fun in these sessions where I get to share my story. That can be like, because even you are going to have this experience. If not worse, better. If not better, best experience. But you are going to have sort of a 50-50 sort of a experience when you're doing something for the first time. That being said, thank you so much for making this topic, me and the video, part of your day or the podcast or part of video. I'm going to see you in another video.
فما لك في الأرض درب صحيح إلى الله.